Hey coaches, Joe Salas here. Starting to go through position by position, really making a video that my assistant coaches can look at and even the players can look at and get a good feel for what's expected of them, what we're looking for, what we're trying to do by position. So we're going to start out with receivers today. Number one, mission, for our receivers in an air raid offense, mission is number one, take care of the football. And then number two is constantly stress and attack the defense. Whether we're in the run game and you're running quick screens or we're in the passing game and you're running routes, we want to constantly be on the attack, throwing in tempo and doing everything we can to make their life miserable. Stance, we are an inside foot forward team, so we'll have our inside foot. I know you can't see this on tape because I got it so tight, but we're going to have inside foot forward, we're going to have our thumbs underneath our chin, and we're going to have a sprinter stance in a 2-point stance. Alignment, the outside guys, obviously alignments, depending on formation, alignment changes, but our base rule for alignment is the outside receivers are inside edge of the numbers, and then the inside receivers are splitting the difference between the tackle and the outside receiver. That's our typical, our base rule. Tips. Number one tip, we are a ball security. The football, the ball is the program is the ball. So number one is take care of the football, ball security. And we've started using this, and I should have a football here, but we started using this term chin high, meaning we want the ball in front and tight and get the tip up to your chin. High and tight is what we're looking for. Number two tip, we've always used this one, and we call this the YZ rule. And it's not true on all formations, but just a base rule is either the Y or the Z has to be on the ball. So if we ever get in a formation, we look over and one of us is not on the ball, then we need to make a correction. And obviously the same would be true. We could call it an XH rule, but YZ rule just means one of us got to be on the ball for us to be in a legal formation. And obviously we have specials, we got tight end trips, we got different things where that might not be true, but that's a base rule, keep that in your mind. Number three, big air raid rule. Man zone, run, sit. If we're playing against man coverage, we want to run. We want to create separation. If we're playing against a zone coverage, we want to sit. We want to find grass and sit down in the holes between people and present targets. So man, run, zone, sit. The next one is the noose Pinkie Rule. So our base rule, and this is why we do all the drills we do, is our base rule is if you're facing the quarterback, you want to present a noose, and a noose looks like this. If I'm facing the quarterback and the ball's coming below my waist, it'll turn into pinky. So pinkies together to catch that football. If I'm running away from the quarterback, I want to catch the ball with pinkies together. Just a base rule, and we told them to squeeze the elbows also. So base rule, running away from the quarterback, pinkies together, squeeze the elbows. If I'm facing the quarterback, I want to present the noose. Next one, just something to stick in their mind to help them with catching the football. Because, typically in the air raid offense, the first year, the quarterback is bouncing the ball off of people. That the receivers kind of got to catch up to this concept of air raid. So, by the third, fourth year, it is extremely rare for us to miss a ball that we can touch. And that comes from this little rule, is eyeball the catch, follow the ball into your hands, eyeball the catch, and then eyeball the tuck. That little rule, eyeball the catch, eyeball the tuck. If we're running away, eyeball the catch, eyeball the tuck. That one little rule helps us really improve our catching ability. Next one, stock block. Our stock block rule is make sure you break down and make sure you use a space. Meaning, we don't want to rush up on top of a DB immediately, because all that means is they're going to beat us faster. So we want them, it's the same rule on O-line is get beat slowly. Well, that rule in the wide receivers world is use space. So I want to break down like 5 yards from the guy. I want to use the space, make him fill that space before I get into him. If I run up and step on his toes, he's going to get off me extra quick and be back there where I don't want him to be. So make sure we're breaking down. You know, you're breaking down, turn into a basketball player, and use your space. Don't close the distance. Make him close the distance. Next one, when we're talking about tempo, and we're always in some kind of tempo mode, is hustle to the line and jump into your stance. So what we're wanting, wherever the ball stops at, we want to be jogging up there, we want to be getting a call, and we want to jump into our stance, check our wristband, because we're a wristband team, and then get going. And then the last one, and this is a big one, because we're a wristband team, is echo the calls. And I think this is across the board. This should just be a football rule. You know, whether you're in the secondary, whether you're playing defense, O-line, echo the calls. If you hear it, say it. So when you hear red 4, then say red 4. You know, always echo. Whatever you're hearing, echo it so it gets across the horn, because communication is everything. You know, football is a communication game. All right, so then we come over here to these drills, and I'm going to make a separate tape. We're going to start videoing our drills, but I just wanted to put them down so that we kind of get an advanced organizer on it. Our drills, they're EDDs, they're everyday drills, and I've said it before, I am really anal about our drills, that the drills are the secret to the offense. So we do these 2 pre-practice drills. We got 10 minutes pre-practice, and we run the same 2 drills every single day until we get great at them. So release drill is when we're anticipating press man. So how do we get off press man? Well, we basically teach 4 things. We're a foot fire team. Air raid guys are normally foot fire teams, so we're going to teach a foot fire with a single release, a foot fire with a double release. We're going to really focus on our hands. So we've got our hands up under our chin anyway, and we're really focusing on, you know, swat it out of the way, get behind the elbow, or swat it away and get the rip. So we're really focused on hands. That's why we got them under our chin. We want to look uniform. We want to look, you know, to me, if you stop the tape, you should look good before the snap. And then when you look at stances, if I look at guys and their stances and their stances are bad, I'm thinking they got a bad coach. So your stance is an indicator of the coach. And once the coaches understand that, all of a sudden stances get really good, because that's important for everyone to know that I'm a good coach, so my kids are going to be in a great stance. All right, so the reason we use that stance, get the hands up so that we can, when we are pressed, we can go ahead and use the hands to combat. And then we use a diamond release as one of the other releases that we use off of a press coverage. So those 4 things every single day in pre-practice, so that 2 or 3 times a year when we do get press coverage, we're ready for it. The next one, again, during pre-practice, we use a stock block drill where we're teaching those angles. We're teaching breaking down. We're teaching using the space. You know, most of the time, they're actually running a quick screen. They're not having a stock. But on perimeter plays, when the ball's coming behind them or maybe coming behind them, we got to do a good job of stock blocking, because we got to be team players. Next one is a noose drill. Noose and pat and go are your 2 very traditional air raid drills, and they are difference makers. There's a reason why they're traditional air raid drills, because they make all the difference in the world. On the pat and go, we have done this. We've gone to a goal line fade in pat and go. So we're basically saying we're pretending we're standing on the 10-yard line, and we're throwing the goal line fade to work all those little details. So again, when that situation arrives, we're there. And then routes on air, another big traditional. That's where we're working the mechanics of our routes, and we're repping everyone through it really quick. We've got 10 minutes a day of routes on air. And then we've got 10 minutes a day of Skelly, which is our 7-on-7, where we're going against a live defense. We really, even during season, we just do 2-hand touch, but we're seeing multiple different looks from the defense. We're making a competitive period, and it's fun, and it makes us a lot dang better. And then we've got these two drills that in our schedule right now are only once a week drills, but we'll pick a day where we're going one-on-one. That's DB versus receiver one-on-one, and we're running man routes. And then one day a week where we're working our bandit period, which is, for us, it's a 23-second drill, where that's a drill that begins day one on the 50-yard line, and if we win, we move up by 5 yards. If we lose, no, opposite. If we win, we back up 5 yards the next time. If we lose, we move forward 5 yards. So we want to find that spot where we can score in 23 seconds, and then we want to start extending it back to, hopefully one day we can start on our own 5-yard line and score in 23 seconds. So those are the drills, those are the tips. That's the basics of our of air raid wide receiver position. Thank you, coaches.